Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful week, and today we are going to have a really interesting video because I'm trying out watercolors again in my ongoing quest to get back into traditional art again after doing digital completely exclusively for the last however many years it's been, like 6 or something. Yeah, I think my comic just had its 6th anniversary. Anniversary, difficult word. And I don't think I've done any traditional art during that time. And watercolors used to be my absolute favorite medium, and I really kind of started missing it lately. And I did a couple of pathetic attempts before this one in my sketchbook, and it was not a success. I wanted to smash my head on the table because it's not watercolor paper. I forgot how important proper paper is for watercolors, so yeah, I gave up on that pretty quick. That was last month, and I ordered a pad of really good quality paper online and waited for it to come in. And it arrived this week, yesterday in fact. I pretty much immediately wanted to try it out with this piece. So this is the first proper watercolor painting in half a decade, yes. And it was really challenging in the beginning. Like at this stage I was struggling with first of all, the way I used to paint with watercolors was that I really liked getting a ink line art down first and then I would color it. But I decided to try just having a sketch to start from, and that was difficult because I made the mistake of wetting the paper just a little bit before sketching, and then the sketch marks wouldn't really take on the paper. They would just dig like little grooves in it, and it was really difficult to see. And I went in with a really loose, barely visible sketch, but there is a sketch. It's probably not the camera probably wasn't able to even pick it up. My eyes were barely able to pick it up. But it's a simple composition and painting, so I was relatively confident to just jump straight into it and kind of sketch it out with this really faint blue to begin with. And the subject is Sigrun from my comic, randomly walking under a narwhal mutant beast skeleton. She ended up looking really angry. She was supposed to look kind of nonchalant and like, whatever, I've seen a billion of these, but she ended up looking, as you'll see in the end, really pissed off. It's fine though. It's she can be angry at the skeleton. So I guess I should mention what materials I'm using. The paper is Arches hot pressed paper, 100% cotton, and anything else to say about the paper? No, it's expensive. Oh, we had a little bit of a time skip right there. It's I did a few details, or started on the details off camera, just to focus properly, and at this point I felt like, alright, it's time to get back into recording again. And the watercolors, they are Schmincke watercolors, I believe, and I guess the palette itself is kinda off the view probably, but it looks horrible, as in it's very dirty. I kinda ruined it, which is why I have like a empty palette just for mixing the colors in. That's the one in the bottom right corner. It doesn't have any watercolors actually in it, because the one on the top is the actual palette, and I ruined it by pouring ink into it when I was a teenager. That was stupid. The mixing area is just completely black with like scratches in it. I tried to get rid of the black ink from it, and I just ruined it even further. It's so horrible, but it's still fine as long as I have a separate mixing area. And I've had it since I was like 16, I think. It's my first set of watercolors, and it's my last. I haven't gotten a new one. I replaced like the blue colors, I believe, a couple of times. All the other ones, they're the same ones that the palette came with from 14 years ago. And they are perfectly fine. Nothing's happened to them in that time. But the blue, especially the ultramarine blue, that one I love blue, obviously. It's the one that I'm using right now. I ran through that one a couple of times back in the day and had to replace that color. And I had to replace it for this painting too, because it's like completely empty. And I bought a blue, and I also bought a completely new color that I haven't tested before, and that's the turquoise that you see. Like it wasn't a color that came with the palette, and I figured, hey, I'll try it out. Like I'm buying just a boring ultramarine blue, I might as well buy this really pretty looking turquoise, and it's so beautiful. You can see it on the screen right now. Maybe it was visible in the beginning, but you'll see it in the end. I'll go like do a sweep through over the palette at the end, and you'll see the turquoise that I mean. It looks very out of place in the palette because it's like a more specialty color looking thing. It's vibrant and light and bright, and I really loved it. It's my favorite watercolor. Watercolor color. Not that I have too much experience with many. I should maybe just go to a proper art shop rather than ordering online and just seeing if there's any interesting ones that I should try out. Yeah, I should do that. Only problem is the closest art shop is probably 1,000,000 kilometers away. Oh, speaking of that, it was actually really difficult getting this watercolor paper. Oh, by the way, this is the interesting part in the painting. You're going to see me hesitate really badly right now. Yeah, I'm scared because I decided to do something with the composition that I hadn't planned on. Oh, I'm thinking so hard. Am I gonna do it or not? Oh, I'm so worried I'm gonna ruin it. And I'm starting kind of careful, not really committing yet, just thinking, trying out the color a little bit. Because I decided the composition isn't looking interesting enough. Alright, now I'm going in. Am I gonna do it? I'm so scared. There we go, I'm starting. I decided that I really wanted the skeleton to kind of cast some sort of shadow on the scene, and yeah, I was worried what would happen if I just painted straight on with this blue, if I was going to mess up the composition, or if I was going to like smudge out all of the colors underneath, because I kind of liked what I had going on with the reflections and stuff. But I decided to just go for it. Just why not? I mean, of course it's very scary when you don't have a undo button, so I have to think really hard before every stroke and make sure that I don't have too much color or too much water as I do my brush strokes. But I'm very happy I took the plunge and committed to painting in these shadows. I'm not sure even if they look like shadows really. I guess they kind of look like if you look at a lake, you get those streaks of light and dark because the wind will disturb the surface. They kind of look partly like that, partly like shadows. But yeah, they're meant to be shadows, but either way, no matter what they eventually look like, it was a good decision, and really helped the interest of the piece. It made it look more interesting. That's what I wanted to say. So what was I talking about before that? Oh yeah, the watercolor paper. It was so difficult to get. I was, I think, last week complaining about this on stream, that I had ordered watercolor paper, this one, or this type, from a art supply store online, and it had been like 2 weeks and it had not arrived. In fact, it has now been 3 weeks and it has not even been shipped out, because the shop contacted me and let me know that they had ran out of it, even though, you know, it was listed as in stock on the website. And they were like, alright, well, is it okay if we like wait, you know, until it comes to us and then we'll send it to you? It might take like a week or two. And I was like, alright. And I figured I don't really want to wait. I'm just gonna order, you know, a second batch from another store, hoping that that would arrive before the other one. Because, you know, you can't have too much watercolor paper. These came in like pads of 12. So, you know, gonna run out pretty fast anyway. So I ordered from another place, thinking that, okay, it's just another week to wait. And that one was sent out like the next day, really fast. But it got stuck in the mail. It arrived to like a nearby town, to the post office place, according to the tracking number. And then it just got stuck there, because it was like home delivery service, or I had paid for home delivery. And I got a text message to where I could like choose which day and which time frame would be okay for them to deliver it. And I picked one and they went, and no delivery. And I did it again for like the next 2 days, no deliveries. I was getting so frustrated, because it had been, you know, 2 weeks now, and neither place or neither watercolor that I had ordered and paid for had arrived. And eventually I just drove to the post office where it was supposed to be, the package, and just asked them, like, with my tracking number, please, can I have it? It's supposed to be delivered and it's stuck here. It's been here for like a week. Can I please have it if you can find it in the back? And they were really kind, and you know, just asked for my name and the tracking number and went to see if they could find it, and they could, and they just gave it to me. So thankfully it had a happy ending. I was worried it was gonna be like sent back to the sender, because I think it's like a 1.5 week limit to how long it can be stuck somewhere until it's sent back. But thankfully I got it. Still have not heard about the first watercolor pad, but I guess if it's not sent in like another week, maybe I should ask for a refund. Not that I even care that much. It will come when it comes. I have this one now and I'm so happy. I was so happy coming back home from the post office with it and being able to try it out. I think it's probably the fanciest watercolor paper I've ever used, because back when I was teenager and, you know, I guess 20-year-old maybe was the last time I painted. You know, obviously I didn't really have money and it's quite expensive buying a pad of proper watercolor paper, and I think the ones that I did buy range from really, really bad, the kind that costed like €5 for 20 sheets that I used for inking my comic, because, you know, it was useless for watercolors, but it was really smooth, good for inking. And the ones that I actually painted on, I think, were like mid-range, so maybe like 20% cotton and not really that durable, so you couldn't make too many mistakes. But this one is like the prime, perfect kind, and I was so happy painting on it. It was a real joy. And I guess the watercolors are also a good, like Schmincke is a really good brand, isn't it? Yeah, I think they were really expensive when I bought them. So, actually I didn't buy them. I think I got like a gift card to an art supply store, and they were on sale, and I had no idea about the brand. I just thought the logo was cute. Yeah, I think they were for sale for like 75 euros, and the gift card was for 50 euros, and I paid the other 25 on my own. I was like, oh cute, I bought watercolors. I have no idea how to use these. Before that I only used watercolor pencils. Oh, there we go. We are finished, and you can get a look over my empty mixing palette. I don't know where I got that one. And here is my horrible palette. And there is the turquoise that I mentioned, isn't it? Oh, well, it's gone, but oh, it's so beautiful. And my dirty paper towels for wiping the extra water from, and dirty water. And here is the finished painting. It's a A4 sized, yeah, whatever that is in American inches. There we go, and a little close-up of the thing. I'm surprised how much detail I got into this small piece. I used to do bigger paintings when I was younger, like A3, so that I could fit all of the ink lines into it, and I used the inking to get my details in. So this was, well, I guess I've obviously learned different kind of techniques doing digital stuff that I was able to carry into traditional work. Yeah, very happy with the results. I was actually really insecure in the beginning, but the more I painted, the more stuff came back to me, and I'm excited to do more in the future. Thank you all for watching, and the link to my comic and Instagram and everything is in the description if you're new to my work, and I'll see you guys next week.